So I've always had this kind of back thought in the back of my mind. Ever since I saw Killua use electricity, I always thought to myself, could that be a specialist ability? I mean, hear me out. We all know he's a transmuter, and that most of his family, or at least from what we've seen, are transmuters. But as you may also know, a nin user can also change into a specialist. And what he's doing at this age is insane. I mean, as far as we know, nobody else in Hunter x Hunter can use electricity like he can. Maybe his family members, but we don't know anything about that yet. Or at least the ones we haven't seen yet. But we do know a couple specialists in the series that could hint to Killua possibly being a specialist, or at least going to be one. First up is Kurapika. So in normal circumstances, Kurapika isn't a specialist. He's a conjurer with the ability to turn himself into a specialist. But that's not his nin ability. That's the power of his eyes, well, the scarlet eyes that he got from his deceased clan. And what the eyes does is give him increased strength, and with this power it say he could easily handle 3 adults as a child. But there's a backdraw. He loses all his primal senses and he becomes enraged. Also, the more he uses this ability, the more repercussions it has on his body. His far limit, as far as we know, is about 3 hours, and even after that he fainted. But what's really special about the eyes is that he gains the ability of all the nin type, therefore making him a specialist and one of the most OP people in the series. I mean, imagine training to learn nin, you learn all the basic principles, you learn all the other side shit, then to lose to a guy with hacks. I mean, he's basically God with it. But like I said, he has repercussions. He can't spam it like that or else he's gonna hurt himself. But enough about Kurapika, let's go on to our other specialists. Next up is Meru, you know, the most badass ant in any history of any series? Anyways, he's a badass ant. So his nin ability is kinda difficult to explain, but also not. Basically, he eats people, and the more people he eats, the stronger he gets. I mean, I wish it worked like that in real life. Kind of, you know, besides the whole killing human beings and stuff and eating them, yeah, I don't really agree with that, but that's besides the point. So an example is this: when he took a nice big juicy bite out of Yuppie. So when he devoured Yuppie, he gained the ability to shapeshift his body, which just made him that much more overpowered than he already was. He can absorb normal people as well, or like devour them, but they don't really increase his power too much because, you know, they're regular humans. So basically, the more he eats, the stronger he gets. Guess that wasn't hard to explain. But next we have, now I'm really gonna butcher this name, Prince Saridnik? Okay, I think I said that good enough. Now this man is a genius. If I dare say, I think he has almost as much potential as Meru. So this man who had no concept of nin learned it in 1 day. Actually less than 1 day. And that just shows how much of a genius he is. So we're gonna bring up some other people like Zushi. So like as an example, Zushi, who's a really talented kid, learned 10 in 6 months. Now for a talented kid, that's pretty damn good. But compared to people like Killua and Gon, now Killua and Gon, it took them only 2 weeks to learn it. That is insane. They kinda made my boy Zushi look like a noob. So Killua and Gon are like 1 in 10 million talents. To put that into some perspective, people like Gon and Killua will only come out once every 10,000 years. So already they are showing true signs of becoming specialists in the future. Maybe? Hopefully. Prince Saridnik was able to do this in a day, like I said. So if Gon and Killua are 1 in 10 million talents, Saridnik will have to at least be in 50 million talents. Probably higher. I don't know. I suck at math. But back to the main topic now that we have that out of the way. Could Killua be a specialist, or could he possibly become one? Yes, he could. The fact that Gon and Killua have shown this much growth this early on into their lives proves they have what it takes to become specialists in the future. As to what those abilities could be, I will leave that for y'all in the comments section to discuss. So as a further ado, I will see you guys later. Peace.